Hey everybody, my Pokepop here. Welcome back to another video. So this is a follow-up video to the Gen 4, Gen 5 event Pokemon tutorial that I uploaded not too long ago. And a lot of you have been having trouble with your mobile hotspots. So in turn, most of my replies or solutions have been to use an open network through your router, right? Your Wi-Fi or internet connection. And so the thing is, in order to do that, you have to have an open network. Okay, not like the Starbucks and McDonald's thing, because they do have you authenticate, and the DS does not. It doesn't like that. You know, it's not compatible with those types of open networks. I recommend setting up a guest network, not actually taking off the password off your main network. So guest network is a completely separate connection than your regular, Wi-Fi connection. Okay, so in order to set up that open connection, it just takes a few simple steps. And I've been getting a lot of questions on how to do that exactly. So this is the follow-up video for that. Now, in order to do this, you have to have your information, your login information for your router. Okay, so you're gonna have to go straight into your router settings. And we'll worry about how to do that in a minute, but look on the bottom or the back of your router. You should see a sticker. Okay, and it should say your Wi-Fi ID network, your network ID or whatever. And I'll put a picture of what mine looks like. And you're gonna have to put it, and it'll say password right below that, the network ID. And if you haven't even touched this, if you haven't even gone to your router settings before, this is how you're pretty much gonna have to do that. So this is the info you're gonna use. Okay, now if you've already gone into your router settings before, and you've changed your username and password, or you've changed your password, you're gonna have to use that information. So I hope you have that written down somewhere. Also, you're gonna need to know your IP address, which is also pretty simple. I included a Microsoft link below, but this is the website that I used to find out what my IP address was, as well as many other like YouTubers and different resources and stuff. But I'll link that below. But anyway, in order to find out your IP address, it's pretty simple. So if you're connected directly to the internet like I am, because I'm not connected to my Wi-Fi, I'm just plugged directly into it, you're just gonna open up your internet settings. So mine is this little computer icon right here, and I click on my Wi-Fi network, and then I'm gonna see my Ethernet connections, and I'm gonna click on that, double click. I'm gonna scroll down so where I can see my my IP address. So right here, actually. So I'm gonna just need to remember what this one is right here. The IPv4 DNS servers. Different routers have different IP addresses. So if you have a Linksys one, it'll say like 192.168 or something like that. So it depends what router you have. Now, if you are on a Wi-Fi setting, what you're gonna do is you're gonna right click on your Wi-Fi icon. You're gonna click Open Network and Internet Settings. It's kind of different for me, but anyway, what you're gonna do here. So usually it'll say like your Wi-Fi network here, but the point is from here you can just click View Your Network Properties, and then from here you just pay attention to where it says Default Gateway. Okay, gateway literally meaning this is your way into your router. This is the gateway into your router, right? That's what that means. So you remember that number, okay, and then you're gonna type that into your browser. This is how you access your router settings directly. Okay, so we're gonna go over to our browser here, into our address. I'm gonna type in mine right here. It's already been saved. You press enter, and it'll bring up this little dialogue right here. It says your connection to the site is not private, and it'll ask you to sign in. Now from here is what I had mentioned earlier. You're gonna have to type in your username and password for this for your own router network. Now if you've never touched your router settings, it should still be the default one. So your default one is probably one of two things. One, it's the information on that sticker that that we had mentioned earlier on that router of yours. So look on the bottom or the back of your router, you'll see a sticker. It'll say network ID and password, right? If that doesn't work, usually admin, like admin as the username and admin as the password will work. Now, if that doesn't work, you can also try typing in admin for the username, right? Or you can try and you can try typing password for the password. So it really depends what router you have, and what their default settings tend to be for the login information. For me, I've already changed my password, so that's not going to work for me. But I'm going to go ahead and type in my login information to show you what it looks like when you actually go into your router settings. Okay, so this is what's going to look like when you log, well, somewhat what it looks like when you log into your router settings. For me, I have an Orbi. This is basically your typical interface for the for your Orbi when you have this version anyway. It says a new firmware is available, but I'm going to do that later. And it'll show all this stuff: your internet status, your wireless network, and it'll show your, your network ID and password and all that. And you'll see here it says guest network. It says status not enabled. There's also a little thing right here that says guest network. You can click on either one, but I'm just going to click right here since it's big. And here is where you can set up your guest network. Now, you can also take off the password for your main Wi-Fi network, but I don't recommend that because then it just allows anybody to log into your main network, and you don't really want that happening. So here's a guest network. It's more secure, and it'll ensure that anybody who wants to use your internet or your Wi-Fi is not taking away bandwidth from your main network. So it'll, you'll still have all the bandwidth when you're trying to watch a movie or play some games or something, watch a video, whatever. So right here is all the settings. Okay, you want to click on enable guest network. Okay, and then enable SSID broadcast, which means you'll be able to see your SSID or your network ID. And here is your guest wireless network name. So if you want it to be called Poop, you can call it Poop, but I'm just going to put MTD, whatever, just leave it how it is. Make sure you set your security options to none. Okay, so make sure it's on none. And then what you do is just press apply. And it's going to take like a minute or two. It usually takes a while for this to happen, for your guest network to activate, but I'll show you when this thing is done. Okay, so it is officially done. It will take a few minutes for it to completely activate, but once it is, it'll go back to this screen here and go to your Wi-Fi connections here. I'm going to scroll all the way down here until I find that MTD. So for me, it's like way down here for some reason, but yeah, it's right here. Okay, it'll have an exclamation point because your computer may warn you that other people may be able to see your info over this network because it is an open network. So you would press connect. Okay, I'm not going to do that because I don't need to do that. But from here is where you can pick up where you left off on my previous video about the Gen 4, Gen 5 network connections. Okay, and from here your Nintendo DS or Nintendo 3DS, whichever console you're on, should be able to connect to the network during your network connection test. Okay, and I just want to end this by saying that if you do have trouble connecting, like if that little red Wi-Fi icon does not turn green, try erasing everything all over again, and then try erasing those Wi-Fi settings that you set up for that custom DNS server, and start from the beginning, test the network. That usually fixes the issue, and then you should be able to get your event Pokemon. If you're having trouble with getting like the same Pokemon or different Pokemon each time, just try changing the date, like change the year drastically. Like if you've changed it like 2 years, try changing it like all the way back to the earliest date possible on your DS, which is the year 2000, which is what I did, and it seemed to work for me because I was getting the same stuff over and over again for a while too until I changed the year, and then from there try changing the month. So I think somebody commented in that video as well about playing around with the settings as well. He managed to figure out a pattern for like a specific month. I think it was like July or August or something like that. But yeah, just change the year and change the month within those years. And just cycle through those days, and you should be able to get something different each time. I haven't finished getting all of them yet, but I have managed to get like some of the tools and that were only like Japan specific. You will get events for all like the games that were like some games you were only some events you were only supposed to get in certain games. Yeah, you're gonna get them for all of them, for every region as well. You're gonna get the German event Pokemon. You're gonna get the Japanese event Pokemon, the Japanese event like tools and things that were like only meant for certain regions. But you'll be getting all of them because whoever made this custom DNS server uploaded all that data, and we're able to receive all of them as long as you get this part to work. So with that being said, that's pretty much the end of the video. I hope that wasn't too complicated. Again, like I said in the other video, if you have any questions, leave a comment and ask me or each other, how to solve certain things. But for now, that's going to have to be it for me. Until my next video, my Pokepop signing out.